And when I did my research, looking at black women's experiences, it was based on the fact that within academic spaces there just wasn't that literature there. I was doing my masters and I'd wanted to actually write my dissertation on that very topic, and there just wasn't enough, so I had to widen the scope to look at women more broadly, and that kind of set in motion that how is that right, that there's not enough literature on this area. And then it kind of made me more passionate about finding out about their experiences, their specific experiences, that intertwine aspects of gender, class, and race and racialization. And I think the fact that there's not much literature in that area is also it's also a wider problem in terms of the criminal justice system, that there isn't much knowledge or information about those specific experiences, nor is there the intensity to want to actually know about these experiences, and why it's so varied and so different for black women. There's that lack of understanding that there will be specific processes or delays, or the way in which black women experience things in prison might be different for them, but I feel like the criminal justice system doesn't always take that into account and realise that there is those differences. Something as simple as trying to move from a closed prison to an open prison, and the hoops that many of the black women I spoke to talked about in order to try and have that happen, which was taking months and months longer than their white female counterparts. That's just one example of how it's different for black women in prison.